Welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show.
Beam City Sports.
Yes, sir. We are back in the studio live on 96.5 FM Beam City Sports. Got my boys Luke and Devin with me. How are y'all feeling?
I'm staying positive. Trying to stay positive right now. It was a beautiful last few days here in Sacramento. Not much on the court, but outside, I was really happy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dev, how you feeling?
I like that. And I'm going to try to keep that same mindset as well. I've been a little doom and gloom for the past couple of days for obvious reasons, but, let's get the spirits up. I'm ready to stay positive. We got another game tomorrow. Let's start it off good.
Huge game.
Let's go on a run.
Yeah, every game coming up for our Kings is going to be huge in this tight Western Conference, but we will have to go over the back-to-back disappointing games from the Sacramento Kings. Back-to-back losses starting in LA with the Clippers, then going back home and losing to the Knicks on a back-to-back. Not a good look for this Kings team, but we are still 2 games over 500 and still in 9th place in the Western Conference. So, some hope coming up in these next couple games, but it's definitely not going to be an easy route.
No. It's definitely going to be a defining stretch of games right here for the rest of the season, really. After these, 7 games, it's going to be the toughest stretch that we have, and it will be determining where we land in the final end of the season.
Yeah, that's very true. But also today, we'll be going over the next couple games for the Kings, then Luke's Lock of the Week, ICU, and then we'll go around the NBA, talk about some games from last night and a couple nights ago, make some predictions for upcoming games. Then we'll talk about Sac Republic getting the dub in their first game.
Yes, sir.
Also, yesterday, we saw the A's and the Giants play in spring training. Hey, it was finally on TV.
Got to watch a game.
Yeah, we finally got to see a little bit of baseball last night. But, the Giants won that one. Spring training, though, doesn't matter too much, Dev. Don't get too excited there. You don't want to see the A's in the regular season once it's 4th of July here in Sac. I think the A's are going to have the Giants' number come that time.
Wish I could go to that game. It's probably all sold out now.
It's probably
though,
sold out already.
Immediately.
Yeah, Sac is going to be jumping for that one for sure. But, we got to start with the heartbreaker, where it all started. The Kings losing to the Clippers in overtime, 111 to 110. Man, this was one of the hardest watches I've ever had as a Kings fan at the end of this game.
Yeah.
Watching that ball from Kawhi just bounce on the rim a couple times. Thought it was going out for sure, and then it bounces in because it's Kawhi Leonard. He gets every bounce.
Felt like Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Felt straight up like Joel Embiid.
Yeah, now the Kings fans, we all know how it feels to be a 76er fan now. Seeing that bounce go in from Kawhi at the buzzer. I just don't understand how he always gets the benefit of the bounce in those situations. He just has a different type of touch, a robotic-esque type of player. But yeah. And we honestly locked Kawhi up for most of this game. And then, of course, when it mattered most, he took, as long as he could to get to that spot. He stood there for about 15 seconds without dribbling the ball, then went right into the post. Went up with the left hand, too. That's just disrespectful. With the left hand.
Reminded me of that Kyrie Irving one from last year. Yeah,
exactly.
He was talking in the postgame interview. He said he was going to go up with his right, but defense was there. He said that defense was locking it up, and he just went to his left and then trusted his work. And, Kawhi's that kind of a player where he can do both sides.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like you said, I think Keegan did a good job on him all game. He wasn't scoring. His three wasn't falling. I think he was about 0 for 5 to start the game, something like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just what you love to see. James Harden wasn't shooting particularly good either until it got to overtime, and then he made a couple big ones. And then even on that last play, I think Keegan did a good job. Help came over. Kawhi was just better.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think the defense was pretty good, too. I think Keegan was locked in, make him go to that weak hand on the left, and then Valanciunas was also there for the help.
Yep.
Yeah.
He jumped up, put his hands up, and, it didn't even matter. It didn't matter. Kawhi just got it up and over him. But, there were some good things to take away from this game. Mm-hmm. DeMar with 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 10 assists for DeMar DeRozan, the leader of this team, especially in that game. And every shot down in the clutch, he was knocking it down.
Oh, yeah.
He did miss a couple threes in the clutch where we were down, but he also hit the biggest shots of the game. We would not have been in that situation without DeMar.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there was a lot of talk about we're slowing the pace down a little too much with DeMar, in this game. And, it did definitely come back to bite us, but DeMar also hit, the biggest shots of the game. So got to show him some love.
This is also a Clippers team that's top 10 in the league in defense. So it's really impressive to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then James Harden was just classic James Harden, hitting those step back threes with a hand in his face, and then bumping in the lane and getting some random wild layup going up. They were just hitting every single shot that we were playing good defense, and it just didn't really work out for us.
Felt like a defensive battle from both teams.
Yeah.
Like they were just, I think it was at 80 to 80, close to the start of the fourth quarter, and so it just felt like defenses, both of them were really just on their stuff, doing what they needed to do. And it just sucks that Kawhi got that shot to fall. But, I mean, like you said, there's a lot of good stuff to take from that game for sure, I think. I mean, they played great defense. They had some guys knock down some shots. I love what I see from Keegan to start the games, especially. Think you could go to him a little bit more in the later part of the games. But, I mean, a lot of good to take. It just sucks because that one was one you felt like you had to have.
Yeah.
Being only, I think they were either half or 1.5 back at that time. So, I mean, winning that game would have probably put them over the Clippers and they would have switched spots. But, yeah, it sucks to see it end that way. I hate game winners when they're against me, obviously. So.
Yeah, for sure. And this, we saw the Kings and the Clippers a couple years ago in an iconic overtime game where the final score was, I think, 177 to 176 or something like that. One of the highest scoring games, if not the highest scoring game of all time.
I think it was the second highest scoring game of all time.
Second highest scoring game of all time.
Yeah.
And then this game was honestly the complete opposite. A 111 to 110 game is something that is a low-scoring game for a regulation game. And then to see that in an overtime game, it was definitely a defensive battle. But, yeah, James Harden, man, down the stretch was definitely the X factor for the Clippers, especially getting them into that overtime. There were so many times in that fourth quarter where I thought we had this in the bag, where I was so confident that this game was ours. And James Harden really took it into his own hands, started running that pick and roll with Zubac, finding him every time. And, Harden had 29, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists, so in a vintage James Harden game. But I am a little upset. Jake LaRavia played great defense on Harden for most of this game.
And then switched him off.
Yeah, well, also down the stretch, there was one play where Harden hit a floater to tie it. Almost could have been an and one. Thankfully, the refs didn't call that. But Jake LaRavia just let him walk to his left hand.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jake was doing a great job of taking that away from him for a while. And then when it mattered the most, I don't know if LaRavia was, a little gassed because he was playing a lot of minutes, pressing Harden full court most of the time because we took Keon off him. But, yeah, LaRavia just really let Harden walk to his left hand, get an easy floater in, and that was the biggest disappointment for me.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but I also wanted to bring up the help defense on there. There were 3 people in the paint, the 3 Kings in the paint. Mm-hmm. None of them stepped up in time to try and block that lane. Yeah. They just watched them drive in. Mm-hmm. They had plenty of time to do it. Yeah. But, yeah, again, LaRavia, whole game, 31 minutes, it's pretty cool to see him come in and take that kind of a role on immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit better built. I don't want to say, but I'll say to guard James Harden than Keon is. I mean, weighs more, obviously taller, a little bit lengthier, but I just think he's a better defender for James Harden, and I like that we switched to that. But, yeah, like you said, it was one play maybe that you take off. Maybe I don't know exactly what happened, but, yeah, that letting him just get to the left like that was pretty disappointing. And, I mean, dude, Kawhi hit another insane shot. I just remembered the and one. We were up 79 to 70, 130 left, and Kawhi comes down the court and just throws up a hook shot, foul, and one.
Yeah. And
that's what really started that run at the end of the game. That's what we're saying, that you still sort of won this game, is being up 9 points with 130 left to go. They definitely still should have won that game. But, I mean, Kawhi just made a couple insane shots.
Yeah, I remember with that one, I was listening to it on the radio, and G-Man, when that shot went up, and he said it felt like that ball stood on the rim for an eternity. Yeah. Because Kawhi threw it up there, and, of course, he always gets those slow bounces that stay on the rim forever, and it just ends up rolling in every time. But, yeah, that one really hurt. That was... I think the Kings, like you said, were up 7 with a couple minutes to go, and then the Clippers just go on a quick run and make it a close game and send it to overtime. But also with the game-winning shot, or to send it into overtime, Zach LaVine had a pretty good look at it.
I thought that one was going in.
Also thought that was falling. He got to his step back going right, which, we talked about. That's his favorite go-to shot. But I think, he should have shot the 3. I think he had a little more space on the 3. It's easy to go back and say that now, but, he did get to that mid-range, but he just missed the shot. I think it was a pretty good look, but, yeah, I wouldn't have been mad to see the ball in DeMar's hands, though, in that situation. He's just been so clutch.
I was gonna say I was surprised that that Kawhi had the ball in the closeout. I thought immediately they would go to James Harden.
Yeah.
I was like, he's cooking the whole night. And then again, I like with you, I thought DeMar was gonna have it in the clutch time. He was hitting all those shots, running down to it. Why not give him the ball? He has the hot hand. But he did get to the spot. It was a good look. Kings had good looks all night. They just didn't really get the ball to fall in.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to take a 3-2, like you said. And like you said, hindsight probably would have been better. You could always go back and watch and see. But, I mean, I liked the shot he took. I'm not mad that it was him taking it either. I mean, he's a big shot maker, and we've seen him make a lot of contested, crazy shots. But, I mean, I think the 3, like you said, would have probably been a little bit more uncontested. But I really thought it was going in.
I did too.
I was ready to run out the crib.
Yeah, same. I would have been so hyped if he made that shot. But yeah, you mentioned it before, Dev. The Kings look like they're trying to get Keegan Murray involved early in the game.
Early, yeah.
And that's a big part. I feel like back in the day, we used to run the first play for Keegan most of the time, or for like a guy like Herter. You need to get those shooters involved early. See one go down. And, now they're doing that with Keegan. First play against the Clippers, ran it for him, knocked down a 3. And also in the Knicks game after that, he hit a 3 on, I think, the second play of the game. So
I think it's been 3 games in a row where they've ran that little pin down screen and he just comes from the corner. And I'm liking that he's taking those deep threes. Like you said, he's got the ability to hit those. They could be bailouts at times. And I think he had a couple bailouts on some deep threes, but just keep taking them and keep running the plays for him and don't stop looking for him later in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
After that first 3 that Keegan hit, I saw the whole bench. Everybody was just like, Doug McDermott was like, yes, let's go.
Everyone wants to see Keegan succeed.
Exactly. Yeah. So if he gets that first shot going, he usually keeps it going. And, I mean, it was so close. So it pissed me off.
Yeah, that game is just really tough one to get over. But Zach came out the gates hot in that game, hit a couple, got to the rim actually. That's what he was doing. He wasn't hitting the 3. Yeah. He was getting to the rim with ease. The 3-point shot wasn't falling. He was 1 for 7 from 3 in this one. But getting to the rim, he's one of the best at it.
I mean, both DeMar and Zach both had great games, but then only 2 threes between the two of them. Like, that's really killer right there. That sucks.
Both 1 for 7 from 3, too, so they're taking a lot. Yeah. Just weren't hitting them.
Yeah.
But, another guy that came off the bench that I thought, was hustling once again was Trey Lyles. Got to give him some respect. He did miss some shots when we needed him to hit them, but he had 5 rebounds in this one. I think he was, hustling out there, and that's just what he's been doing ever since Domas has been hurt. I feel like Trey's really, took it into his own hands to be the hustle guy off the bench. And I think he's doing a good job of that, even in these 2 losses back to back.
I've loved the Trey minutes, like you said, since Domas got hurt. Maybe in a couple games before, I think he was kind of playing the same way. And like you said, he's taking it upon himself, and I just love to see that. Kind of like, he doesn't have the size for it, but I feel like he's our enforcer off the bench. And I mean, it'll go back to Valanciunas being that when, the roles reverse and Domas gets back. But I feel like he, like you said, is taking it upon himself, and it's just what I love to see that. And then Dev Carter, too, shout out. I mean, he's just coming in, and I think Katie said it in the game, those 5 or whatever games he played in the G League, I think really did help. He doesn't look as indecisive as he was earlier in the year, which is great to see. And next year, I think you said it last week, I'm looking for a real leap from him in year 2.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, that putback was nasty.
That was.
Oh my
smallest guy on the court.
Yeah, that's what we need out of him is stuff like that. He's known as a great rebounder with that long wingspan, so we need him to get offensive rebounds because, honestly, I still remember in the playoffs last year, the biggest key for those teams that won were getting offensive rebounds, and it was all from guards. Dante DiVincenzo for the Knicks was a huge part of why they made a run, because he just attacked the offensive glass and didn't give up on plays. And I feel like Devin Carter can be that type of player.
Yeah, that Matthew Dellavedova type.
Exactly. The hustle, get on the floor, make things happen. But he also, I think Devin Carter has a good whistle for a rookie. He gets a lot of calls. But the problem is he can't hit his damn free throws. 1 for 4 on free throws in that Clippers game. And looking back at it, we lose this game by 1 point.
Yeah.
And you don't want to blame the rookie, but if he hit 1 more of those free throws,
the fact that we lose to a team that hits 10 out of their 25 free throws or something like that, or they hit 15 out of 25 free throws.
Yeah, they missed a lot of free throws.
Games. Free throws win games now in the NBA. And they miss so many free throws, and we still, that was infuriating.
It was.
Yeah, I don't really like the high arc on the free throw. I mean, go ahead and do it. Do you shoot your shot from 3 or from the floor, but the free throws, I feel like it's the high arc, and it's kind of just floating to that back rim. And every time he's missed, I've seen, or in that game, it bounced off the back rim.
Yeah.
So maybe, take a little less loft on that free throw. But, I mean, he played great. So like you said, it's tough to want to blame that on him, but got to hit those free throws, man, for sure.
I mean, he's playing minutes over Markelle, which is interesting.
That was surprising,
Yeah. Markelle in this Clippers game only played 2 minutes. Dev Carter played a lot more than that. So
I was expecting Markelle to have a little bit more of an effect on the team.
Yeah.
Like have some sort of a minute jump.
I feel like every time Markelle's played multiple meaningful minutes, he's done very well.
He's done really good.
So I don't really understand what Doug is doing here. I mean, Dev's provided some energy, but I might go with the more, polished player in Markelle Fultz in these situations where, every game is a must-win.
Yeah.
And you can't really be taking chances on a rookie going 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Not to blame Dev once again. I think he played great, but
free throws are huge.
Free throws are huge.
Free throws are huge.
You know what else is huge is overturning a foul call that was obviously a foul.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it because, obviously we're Kings fans. We're going to be a little biased here as, the Kings announcers were as well. Everyone thought that was a foul, though.
Yeah. How disappointed are you, Dev?
Is this your disappointment?
Listen, it might be. Yeah. Listen, I'm seeing Lakers fans on Twitter that are watching the Nuggets game, that are watching this Clippers game, that are like, dang, I'm just realizing the refs kind of are crappy towards the Sacramento Kings. And I'm like, I'm seeing all these fans and I saw so many posts of the DeMar foul.
Yeah.
I mean, I will 100% agree with you that obviously that high five thing, that's a rule, that's not a foul. But that's not what that was.
Not.
And the refs coming together and trying to make up some crazy story. They're storytelling, bro. I don't care that it didn't make him fall to the ground. The only way he was going to get you to call the foul is by falling to the ground. Then that's what reviews for, is going back and seeing, oh, yeah, he came across, he impeded his flick. His flick stopped halfway through because he got hit in the arm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy. It's a conspiracy. Kings should protest that game if you ask me.
Yeah, that was just next level, crazy overturn. And, DeMar, when the Clippers challenged the call, it was just because they kind of had to.
There's so much time. I was looking at my dad, and I'm like, they have to. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's an obvious one, foul on a 3, a huge call. But then you look at the review 10 times, and 10 out of 10 times you see DeMar gets hit across the wrist. And that is not part of the hand. So if they're trying to say it was part of the hand, and for them to say he didn't fall, that just encourages flopping. And that's just not what the NBA should be looking for. They should want players to try to not fall, even if they get fouled, because you don't want players flopping and falling all over the court like Joel Embiid and getting hurt every other game.
Dude, I think he kind of even came in the landing space too. It wasn't even just the arm. He came across his whole body and they landed in the same spot, basically. That's literally to the T what that rule was made for last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when that call got made, the Kings were up by 2 with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. And then, we blew it.
It would have sealed the game, probably.
Would have sealed the game.
Yeah.
But, Derek Jones and OT killed us as well, leaving him wide open in the corner. He killed us.
Rotations were bad.
Yeah, rotations were bad.
Coming down at the end, there was a few where, Zubac, we played good defense on Zubac, but then we completely forget about Batum or anybody, and they're just wide open down low. There we go.
I feel like the 3-point defense really stepped up since the All-Star break, right? And then it just sucks to see them kind of that Nuggets game. Okay, I'm cool. Put Keegan on Jokic and leave Westbrook in the corner. But when we're leaving guys that can actually shoot, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, that game just killed our whole spirits, and it went into the next game as well, where we played the Knicks at home on a back-to-back.
We have to.
This game was an ugly one. This game put me to sleep midway through the fourth quarter. But, the Kings lose 133 to 104 without Jalen Brunson.
I mean,
we didn't have Sabonis.
Yeah.
But
that's something we have to remember, Sabonis.
Also no Laravia.
Yeah.
I don't really care, though. There's no excuse to lose this bad to
that doesn't
a Deuce McBride-led New York Knicks.
And he was going crazy.
Cooking.
OG kind of.
OG did lead.
Yeah, second half he was going crazy.
Yeah,
but Deuce coming.
McBride.
I will say
he started 5 for 5.
And one of my group chats, some people were just like, it's always one person coming into Golden One Center and cooking us.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't say a random dude. Deuce is nice, man.
He's been nice.
Deuce is nice.
And now he's getting more opportunity with Brunson out.
Yeah.
But
And
Every time he shot the ball, you could hear the Knicks fans in the arena. I told you guys,
That was pretty
dudes.
sick.
I've been saying that.
There's a big New York following here. in
I
Sacramento.
love
didn't
when I
realize
hear that when the Knicks are playing any other team.
Oh, yeah.
in the away arena. I love hearing that because I like the Knicks a lot. But hearing it in Golden One was not a good feeling.
No.
Definitely didn't feel good at all.
Did not feel good.
Well, Malik came back this game, 21 points, 3 assists. Not very happy with his play though.
Was our only guy in double digits by the third quarter.
Yeah. 7 of 18 from the field. I just feel like Malik, he's trying really hard, and you can't fault him for that. He's always going to give his 100% effort, and that's why we love Malik. He goes out there and he plays his heart out. But I think he's kind of messing up the flow of this team a little bit right now on the offensive end. There's no flow on offense. It's all ISO ball, and, it's either pick and roll with Malik and Valanciunas, and if that doesn't work, give it to DeMar, Zach, and ISO at the end of the clock, or even Malik. Malik took the most shots on the team this game, which is not what I want to see.
No.
He needs to be more of a playmaker.
I think, DeMar only played 28 minutes, too.
Yeah.
DeMar, I don't know if he was tired from the last night.
He played over 40 minutes the night before,
yeah,
so makes sense.
So his leg's probably a little heavy, but Malik taking that many shots, just like you said, it just doesn't rub me the right way.
I mean, I love Malik. We all do. But I don't know what we can do to fix this offense because there's no flow.
There's no identity, period, I feel like. And that's kind of what Valanciunas was on the stand after the game. I'm pretty sure he said it was embarrassing. And then he was like, we just have no identity. We got to find who we're going to be. And they got to find that out pretty quick because we got a stretch run here coming up that's going to be pretty tough. And we're trying to make the playoffs. I mean, that's always the goal. But especially now, it would feel really good after last year to make the actual playoffs. But they got to really figure out their identity. I think, obviously, I was telling you guys in the Clippers game, I was like, I feel like Malik would have helped this game out a lot just because of the pace he plays with. But then, that Knicks game was really tough. And like you said, he's trying super hard, and we all appreciate that. But, yeah, I mean, a little bit more playmaking, a little less shot taking, and then who knows what will happen after that. Maybe Doug gets him to move back to the bench, but we keep saying that, and it's probably not going to happen. So, I mean,
it's a tough call to make.
They just got to find it.
really
Yeah, they just got to
If you're
find it.
Doug, that's a tough one. But I mean, that's a good point. Levine also. I mean, he only took 10 shots and he was 50% shooting. He only had 17 points, but he did have 5 turnovers.
Yeah, I felt like he was getting picked a lot.
He was getting picked a lot. OG had 5 steals. The Knicks have a great defense.
Knicks,
Yeah.
they had our number from the get.
That's true, too,
They were
yeah.
just locking us up. I can tell we were trying to run plays. We kind of weren't really running ISO with this. We were trying to move some players around.
It wasn't
but
working.
they were blocking our lanes,
It seemed
blocking
like they
everything.
knew what was coming already. Yeah.
They had a whole day and a half of practice here
Yeah.
in Sacramento before we even came back. We were in LA playing a game, and they're watching it at the Sawyer.
Yeah, I hope it was because we played an overtime game the night before, but the Knicks just seemed faster to every loose ball than us. They seemed like they wanted it more. They had more energy on both sides of the court. Tibbs was pissed even when they're up 20. They just have a dog mentality.
Playing
over there.
OG and McCall up 30 in the fourth.
They always do
They cut
that.
the lead to 25, and Tibbs calls a timeout, starts screaming at everybody, bro. You're
So
up
annoying,
25,
dude. So annoying. But Josh Hart, man, Kings killer.
Killer.
They said that in the first half. Shout out to Draper. Dude, Josh Hart, I feel like he was hitting every shot, late in the shot clock when we're playing great defense the whole possession, and then they give it to Josh Hart, and he hits a sidestep three. A sidestep 3 from Josh Hart?
He's not like
That's
that.
not usual. That's not what he does.
That's not what he does, but a lot of people are downplaying Josh Hart.
He's so good.
He's so good. People
so
are
good.
saying, all right, Duncan, I'm calling you out right now. My boy Duncan, I love you, man. But Josh Hart is not a role player. Dude is a 15-point, 10 rebounds a game, 6 assists, shooting guard. If he's averaging a double-double right now with the team around him.
And he's 6'4".
And he's 6'4".
Averaging that many rebounds.
That's not a role player. That dude is a key player.
If it is a role player, you can make the case that that's the best role player in the entire league.
Of all time.
Of all
time.
Well, yeah, actually. But yeah, the Knicks are, they're a really good team.
Yeah.
So it was a tough one. But yeah.
I feel like I wasn't, like I said, I wouldn't have been that upset about this one if they would have taken care of business the night before.
Yeah.
That's one, it's an Eastern Conference team. Yeah, we need all these wins, but that's one that you can afford to drop if you take care of your business before and after.
Yeah. I think when we predicted the upcoming games, that was the one game where we were like, okay, the Kings might lose this one to the Knicks.
for sure.
on a back-to-back. But hopefully Domas coming back soon. No, don't know when yet, but hopefully soon will change, and make this team, flow a lot better because he could provide that for us.
And maybe that is our identity.
Yeah.
Sabonis is the hub of the offense. We know that. It looks very bad without him.
That's why we need him to, this offseason, we're like, Domas, this is your team. Please stay with us.
We'll do whatever you want, Domas. Don't leave.
The GM us. Who do you want?
Yeah, for real. Damn, I had something on my tongue.
Well, we're about to close out the first half of the show, but before we do, the Kings' next 5 games. Tomorrow
the next one.
in Golden State. How are we feeling?
TNT.
On TNT?
Yeah, it's on TNT. So this is all eyes on us, man.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm feeling like you got to get it up. Like I'm going to feel the rest of this
Warriors
season.
are 12-1 with Jimmy.
That's so
12-1. They haven't played that many good teams, but
that is true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Valanciunas might be able to go to work.
Curry's been on a masterclass, though.
He has.
Oh, what I was going to say. Knicks, after the Knicks game or during the Knicks game, they said Domas was getting reevaluated the next day.
Yeah.
So, he might be back. Who knows?
Please,
Well,
Domas.
and they did send shout out Scal back to Stockton.
That's a good sign,
him back to
though.
Stockton.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
Sabonis might be back tomorrow.
Well, it was just because he also was on a 10-day contract. So they're not
True.
gonna, yeah.
But
Yeah.
do you think they maybe would have gave him another 10 days if Sabonis wasn't close? Maybe.
Yeah,
Or maybe they just feel
Probably.
like IJ came in and did really good, and
Dude,
they
shout
should
out.
sign him to a full contract like we've been saying.
Shout out Isaac Jones.
All year, man. Hopefully they do coming up. Jackson said something with the cap is weird,
Yeah,
so
on
maybe
Saturday,
after a couple weeks. But
Yeah.
before we close out, Suns on Friday, back-to-back. Suns are struggling, but that's Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Gotta take care of business.
Hey, Cam Spencer lit them up the other day. Shout
Dude,
out my
that
boy.
was funny. That was a
Shout out
funny
my
clip.
boy Cam, the
That was a
brother of
funny
Pat. Brother of Pat. But yeah, he cooked him. But then Monday versus the Grizzlies at home. And then Wednesday versus the Cavs at home. And Thursday versus the Bulls at home. That's the next 5.
We got to hit up a home game in this stretch. That's
Yeah.
Beam City.
I'm going to the Grizzly game
Okay.
with my girl Tay.
All right.
Pull up.
I'm going to pull up, be a little third wheel.
Yeah,
Be
okay.
there.
Devin will take a date.
Yeah, double date.
We going on a date.
All right, well, we'll be back in a couple. Beam City on 96.5 FM.
Cheers.
And we are back on Beam City Sports on 96.5 FM. Just to let the viewers know, we only have 2 more shows live on the radio after this week, but then we will be live streaming every episode on YouTube. So go check us out live. We'll have the chat going, get some questions from the chat. I think it'll be really fun once we start live streaming on YouTube.
I think it's going
I
to be really
agree,
cool.
yeah.
Be able to interact with everybody who actually wants to interact with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited for
Really
that.
excited for that. We'll get more information soon, but yeah, sad that KUBU will be shutting down the radio and turning into just a straight podcasting thing. Also, we will be getting on TV here pretty soon.
That's
so,
going to be sick.
yeah, don't want to give
be
too much information up yet, but it'll be coming up soon on TV, actual TV. That's going to be crazy.
We'll remember you guys when we're famous.
Yeah, we won't forget the
Won't
real one
forget.
since day one.
No, shout out KUB though for hosting us.
Yeah, love KUBU for everything. But we'll start the second half how we always do.
Looks like the week.
Looks like the week.
Looks like the week. It's our boy, Clay's boy. I mean, Tyler's boy, Clay.
Please, boy.
Sorry, Tyler's boy, Clay.
Shout out.
In Dallas. He's stepping up big right now for, this really shorthanded
Really
Mavs team.
short-handed.
7 players the other
yeah,
day able to
yeah.
play. Yeah.
I think it was 8, but yeah, or 7 or 8, yeah. But
Crazy.
23 and a half over the last 4 games.
Oh,
4.5 rebounds, 4 assists. He's lighting it up. He's playing worthy of that contract that he signed in Dallas. That I was kind of questionable about at the beginning.
yeah.
But no, it's looking good. It's making me happy. I've always loved Clay. Like he's one of the guys who I really respected.
Yeah.
And then take his overs. His overs are really low.
Yeah, they're probably low.
They're probably
so,
still
yeah.
they're low for you. So yeah, hop on that. But shout out Clay.
Yeah. No
Shout
one
out-
else?
Shout out Chris Brown too, because doppelganger. Christopher Brown, my boy Christopher Brown.
Yeah. You have a
Gosh,
friend
damn
named
it.
Chris
I have a
Brown.
friend named Christopher Brown. Christopher Brown in San Jose.
Not Sea Breezy.
No,
Um,
that's K Breezy. That's
K Breezy.
K
Oh, it starts with a K.
That's
okay.
cool.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Clay.
KRIS.
Shout out Clay.
Yes.
Captain Clay out there in the Bay. Not anymore, but yeah, he's the only one out there that's really trying to shoot the ball every time he touches it. So happily happy the shots are going in. But
Jason Kidd went on that rant all of. He's like, "This is absurd." I mean, they won. They won that game against the Spurs when they were short those players.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, next year, Mavs might be scary. Clay's going to be a big part of that.
Yeah.
If he can shoot 40% from three, then the Mavs are going to be scary.
Yeah. And there was an article that just came out asking about him and his questioning his future.
Yeah.
But he was just like, I'm here. I'm here for the next 2 years.
Respect.
I want to be a part of the building back of this Dallas legacy.
Yeah. Well, thinking back to the offseason when he did sign there, he definitely didn't expect everything to happen. What happened this year with the Mavs?
No.
They were just in the finals last year with Luka and Kyrie, and then Clay has to deal with all this throughout the year, trading Luka, everyone getting hurt. He's really left out there all alone.
It's admirable just because he became his own player. A lot of people are just like, oh, it's him and Curry and Draymond, but became his own player, and now he's it's cool. It's cool to see.
He's not crying about it either. That's something I really respect for sure.
Yeah. I always wish back in the day when Clay was more in his prime that we got to see Clay on his own team, even though I love what he did with the Warriors, obviously. But I always wondered how he would do as without Steph as the number one guy. If Steph was hurt on that Warriors team with just him and Draymond, he probably would have averaged close to 30.
Oh, for sure.
Because he would have shot 15 threes a game.
Yeah, he would have taken all those shots.
Yeah.
I will say he maybe might have needed a Steph Curry or at least a Draymond because in his prime he was really dude. He's put up 37 and a quarter against the Kings off 7 dribbles?
Crazy.
10 years ago. So I mean. He would probably still need a guy to give him the ball, but I think like you said, he'd go crazy by himself.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Omri Caspi from that game.
For sure, they was going back and forth.
Back and forth. Well, that was a good Luke Lock of the week. Now we can move on to ICU.
Yes,
my pick is from the Boston Celtics. One of those whiteys out there, Sam Hauser. The other night had a career high 33 points, 9 threes for Sam Hauser. But man. You're getting 9 threes from Sam Hauser. The Celtics are just different, man.
Yeah.
They create threes at a different level than we've ever seen before. Taking some things from that Warriors legacy dynasty team, but also making it more in the newer NBA of creating good looks from 3. And that's just what their game plan is. And that's, they don't have the highest percentage from 3. I've said it all year, but they shoot the most. And it's at a crazy clip of the amount of threes they shoot. And they, create good looks from 3.
Yeah.
So that's how a guy like Sam Hauser can drop 33 points on a random Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, they literally take 50 a game. I think it's either above that now or it's still close to it. But 50 a game, and most of them, like you're saying, are good shots, which is crazy.
Yeah. As a shooter, that is a team I would love to play on, is the Boston Celtics, because Sam Hauser just looks so free out there. They're running pin downs for him off the ball. Tatum's driving to the hoop, kicking out to Sam Hauser. Jaylen Brown getting 2 guys on him, kicking out to Sam Hauser for 3. And it's just a shooter's dream over there in Boston.
Yeah. No.
Shout out Milo.
Shout out Milo.
Yeah.
It's scary to see. I'm one guy who doesn't really like a whole lot of the 3-point shooting. I don't know. I like
old head. Okay, Unc.
I'm sorry. It's just
respect.
I like them when they're good, though.
Yeah, no. When they're good, it's it's cool to see when it's a well constructed play. But then when it's just some dude walking up the court and just popping a 3.
Yeah,
but when you look at it, the Cavs don't really. They have more of a system out there where it's not really like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like that grit and grind, just back him down. And
You trying to go back to the Zebo at the 4 days?
Exactly.
Dude, I just saw a clip of that people really ruin this type of NBA, and it was Zebo backing down for 15 seconds, turn around, fade, hit it. I was like, they're right. You're right.
Yeah, we don't see that anymore. Because all the 4s in the league are so
shooters,
damn athletic and shooters.
Kristaps was, a great center coming into the league, and then he was just like, I'm just going to shoot all the time.
But he's still really good.
He's pretty good at it.
Yeah. And I remember in the Knicks game back to the Kings, but when Karl Anthony Towns was shooting all those threes, I think he hit a couple early. They were talking about it and how every center pretty much in the league today needs to be able to shoot that 3.
Yeah.
But Karl Anthony Towns is the self-proclaimed best shooting big man of all time.
Yeah, he's been saying that for a while.
He almost won the 3-point contest?
I think he did win it before.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I'm the best shooting big man of all time. Can't really disagree. Maybe if you throw a guy like Dirk in there, but Dirk was more of a mid-range guy than a 3.
He's like a power forward.
He can shoot a 3, though.
Yeah, he can shoot a 3.
I
I got my boy for ICU, Carlo Malkovich from
Ooh,
New Orleans.
Makovic.
Yeah.
Wow, showing some love.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the Clippers the other night.
Yeah.
In a pretty
Don't tell me.
back
Right
and forth.
after we did.
Dude, yeah. They had like a 20-point lead in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And then they came back, and then they took the lead. The Clippers made another lead, or the Pelicans took like another 15-point lead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
beat the Clippers.
he was just wide open on a lot of 3-point shots
Yeah.
and just sinking them all.
Was
Hey.
that did they play back-to-back too? Was that the next night for the Clippers?
Though that
Or
was
did they
last
get
night.
Okay, they got a day off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro!
Dude,
Don't
no,
even tell me. You just made me mad.
Zion got a triple double. I mean, we'll talk about this game later, but like,
That,
Oh,
we
there-
can jump into it
There
right
is
could
now.
just
something
jump
from
into
that
it
I
on
want to
that.
bring
Yeah,
up
yeah.
too.
Yeah, Zion looked insane
Dude,
last
Nothing
night.
even from the game.
he got that last rebound at the end to
Get the trip dub.
secure the triple double.
Yep. But yeah, Carlo Makovic, that was a good pull.
Dude,
Because
I mean-
I've been noticing him all year. I remember when the Kings played the Pelicans a while ago, I was like, damn, this guy's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And like we said, he's one of those big men that can shoot the ball. And he also hustles out there. He had 15 points in that game last night. But yeah, crazy that the Pelicans, who have, 15 wins on the year, beat the Clippers.
18 now.
18 now, shout out. But yeah, Zion, they're going to keep Zion forever, man. I
Yeah.
don't care if he
Yeah.
plays 20 games a year. When he plays, he's crazy.
And that trade for Brandon Ingram and then breaking out Trey Murphy a little bit more, giving him like the ball.
Yep.
It's a really good move for them. They're
Yeah.
gonna be good next year.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll do with CJ come off season time. I hope they kind of go a little more younger.
I think he's gonna get traded this offseason.
I could see that. Too.
Contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could definitely help out a good team.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pelicans beat the Clippers last night. Hey, that's good for us.
Yeah.
Need the Clippers to lose
Yeah.
every game they
Brought
play.
us back in like a game and a half with them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the standings are all, crazy close as they've been. I feel like every week we come in here and the Kings are in a different spot in the West.
For
It's
sure.
either 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th,
Yeah.
and it's all just going to switch every single day. Also, I feel like every week we've come in with the Kings, it's like a different energy. One week will be, like this week we're obviously pretty down
After the
on
last two
everything.
losses.
But then last week it was the complete opposite. We won a couple games and we were feeling so good. It's a roller coaster ride, man, and it's never ending until the season ends.
Gotta beat good teams, man.
Yeah.
That's all you could do. That's how you gotta help yourself out.
Can't bring up that good team record though.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
I mean,
not doing good against
gotta
good
at
teams.
least have that close to 500 by the end of the year. That's gotta be a must.
I'm scared though because I saw something that said the Kings are either the best, worst, bad team in the league or the worst, good team in the league, and that is not where you want to be.
So we're definition of mid.
yeah, definition of mid.
We're just mid.
Hey, but I believe in this team. I think we're gonna make a run.
There's hope. There's still hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Yeah.
If we have been mathematically eliminated, bro, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough to keep the spirits up after a couple games like that, but it's what we gotta do.
What we got to do. Well, more games around the league last night. The Bucks and the Pacers played. Our guy, Tyrese Halliburton, game-winning 4-point play, fading away in the corner. The Bucks and the Pacers might play in the playoffs once again. And who y'all rocking with in that series?
Dude, Pacers are
Pacers.
looking Pacers are looking good, man.
Definitely
But
keep Pacers fans.
It's hard to beat Giannis out of like 5 or 7
Yeah.
games.
It's gonna be a
wherever
fun
they meet.
series.
I'm going Bucks, man. I think
I
I'm
would have
sad
to
to
go
say
Bucks.
I think the Pacers are probably a first-round exit.
Yeah, Dame and Giannis. Besides Luka and LeBron now, that's probably the best duo in the NBA.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
Dame and Giannis?
Dame and Giannis.
I mean, it's not
say
ridiculous to say that
ridiculous
for
to say.
sure.
There's only like 3 like really superstar duos like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying maybe 4.
Yeah.
And me putting Jimmy and Steph up there now?
Nah,
Not yet.
nah, not yet.
Uh-oh. Don't talk down on them before we
wait,
play them
I shouldn't
tomorrow.
even brought that up.
Yeah, knock on something. 'Cause
Go to the
damn.
next. Go to the next one.
Yeah, next game. Well, we'll go back a couple days for these. There was a lot of good games the last couple nights. The Lakers lost to the Brooklyn Nets
Dude,
the other night.
that was huge.
No LeBron though. LeBron's out for a couple weeks. But
Still, man.
yeah,
I mean,
after he yelled at Stephen A, he's out for a couple
bro,
weeks. But Gabe Vincent, he had 24 points for them. Jackson's been hyping him up for the last
he's
couple
stepping
weeks.
up.
He's stepping up.
He's becoming the Gabe Vincent they wanted
Yeah.
when they got him.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, Luka doesn't look like he has that, that burst of, speed. Even though he's never been fast, he's always been able to get by people. And we saw it when the Lakers played the Celtics a couple games ago, and even in this Brooklyn Nets game, he just can't get by the big man like he used to. And he's always dealing with some sort of injury. So it's slowing him down a little bit. Maybe he's, doing the hookah a little too much. I don't want to say that and not know, but Luka can't get by anyone right now. He can hit some crazy shots, but he can't get by anyone.
I was gonna say maybe he's still nursing that injury a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a lower extremity injury. He was out for a while, and I think he kind of came back. I don't want to say too quick because I don't know his body. I don't know how it was feeling. Pause. But I mean, he came back. He got traded to the Lakers and played like the second possible game he could have played. Like he came back really quick, and
he was out months before that.
Yeah, maybe he's still nursing it, and But yeah, I agree. He always has had. He's not fast. We're not gonna call it that, but the short bursts, and I mean that's a pretty big part of his game. He can still, like you said, make those crazy shots, but. Yeah, it's good. Hopefully he gets healthy because it's just going to be good for the league, but it's not going to be good for us because we're Kings fans. But
yeah, true that. I'm scared to play the Lakers next year.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. I'm like, damn, we're going to have to play Luka and LeBron 4 times every year.
Might get swept again.
Hey, that's scary, but it's going to be cool to see here. And I'm going to that game.
Yeah.
Gotta go to one of those. Yeah.
Got to see Luka.
Just to see that. But yeah, no, I'm scared of the Lakers. I'm scared.
I'm scared. Well, we predicted the Nuggets and Thunder to a T. They played back-to-back games.
We did.
And we said the first game, the Thunder were going to win. And then the next game, the Nuggets are going to win. And that's exactly what happened. We locked in. So who is the MVP, though? Because Jokic and Shea went back and forth with games, showing statement games for who should be the MVP. Last game, the Nuggets won against the Thunder. Jokic had 35, 18, and 8. Shea had 25 and 7. But before that, Shea went off and had 40 before that. So, it's still close. And is voter fatigue a real thing that should be a factor in voting? It
shouldn't be a factor, but it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It shouldn't be a factor?
But it shouldn't.
It shouldn't. So Jokic should be the MVP.
Yeah, I think, honestly, LeBron probably should have a couple more. It honestly all started with LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, he won 2 or 3, and they were like, nah.
Yeah.
Let's give it to D Rose. But, I mean, I'm not going to say D Rose didn't deserve it that year. He deserved it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it started with LeBron, and it's still happening. I don't think I saw somebody on Twitter. I don't remember the exact name, but thanks for, giving me this so I can say it on the show. They put up, they were like, put player stat A and player stat B, no names, no nothing, and who would you pick? Like, if you just saw the stats and you didn't know the names, I'm going Jokic. And so, I mean, I think that's kind of how it's got to be, but, people got their own agendas, so.
Here's the argument. So the stats, yeah, you'd pick Jokic. I mean, they're both averaging like 30 or more. Shea's averaging 32, I think. Jokic averaging about 30, 31. But then the difference is Jokic is averaging 12 rebounds and 10 assists.
He's a top 5 leader in all 3 stats.
Every stat. And then, but
shooting...
percentage-wise, he's way up there, too.
Well, shooting one of the best statistical years ever in the NBA.
But wins do matter in the MVP voting. The Nuggets have like 12 more wins than the Nuggets.
The Thunder?
The Thunder.
Or the Thunder have, that many.
Yeah. You said
but,
Nuggets twice, but
yeah.
I mean, that's true. It's just tough, man. Because, I mean, I have no problem with it going to Shea. I'm gonna say right now, I got no problem if that's what happens. But in my opinion, I would vote for Joker.
Damn.
I would vote for Joker.
I would vote for Shea. The wins matter.
Wins do matter, but
the
Nuggets are still.
I don't think
Nuggets are still third.
Yeah, I don't think the Nuggets are far enough down in the West.
Second. It doesn't
second.
matter.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
11 games worse.
I mean,
yeah,
team around you too, but it's just all factors. It depends on. It's really people making up their own factors, and it's just like I said, people got their agendas, and they're gonna be different. They're not gonna have the same opinions as us. So, and I mean, we don't got votes. Yeah. The voters, they got the vote. So, I mean, we'll see what kind of narratives they make up. Yeah, NBA, I would love to vote on some awards.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's like media members and some GMs that vote for
I think so.
MVP and stuff
Maybe
like that.
a couple journalists have a vote.
Yeah.
I don't think that many.
That seems about right. But, yeah, I'm voting Shea. But I do agree with you. Voters' fatigue should not be, a factor.
Yeah.
I think if he deserves it, he should get it. But the Thunder are 11 games better than the Nuggets, so that's why I'm going Shea.
I'm going to say Shea will probably win it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, voter fatigue is definitely a thing. I want Joker to win it, But Shea has been. I mean, Shea's a baller.
You want Jokic to win?
Yeah.
Why? He doesn't even want it.
That's true.
You probably want him to win it more than he does.
Probably.
That's pretty funny.
Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Like, it's just like, all right, what's gonna happen with his MVP trophy? He's like, I'm probably gonna hang out in my horse barn.
Yeah. I'll just put it in the back somewhere. Who cares?
It's gonna go behind all my horse racing trophies.
Yeah.
I think that I'm gonna give it to my third grandchild.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, another close game the other night was the Grizzlies at the Suns, or the Suns at the Grizzlies, where KD was talking smack to Cam Spencer. Cam Spencer
clip.
with 16. Hey, also got to give a shout out to our guy, Marvin Bagley, playing some minutes out there in Memphis. Didn't expect that. Had 9 points, 5 rebounds in 22 minutes for them.
I didn't even notice that.
Jaren Jackson is hurt.
Yeah.
But, hey, Marv, getting some minutes for a playoff team. Didn't expect that.
Respect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Respect.
Shout out, Marv.
This is the Marvin Bagley comeback?
Is he better than Luka? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Definitely not. But the Suns are down bad. KD with 35, D-Book 26, and they lose.
Dude,
They just can't win games. Hopefully, they continue this and keep it going on Friday when the Kings go to Phoenix.
It's going to be the Kings that do it, man.
Hey, that would be a horrible loss. And that's just a tough team to go in and play when their morale is down, but they have Kevin Durant dropping 35 and D-Book dropping 26. It's like, it's never going to be an easy game.
That's what I was going to say with the Knicks and the Kings game. Like, the Knicks were off 2 fresh losses, like tough losses, too.
They were pissed.
They were pissed.
Yeah.
And then they were on a break here in
Yeah.
Sacramento. So, like, Suns are probably going to have that same mentality coming into a game against Sacramento.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Well, some upcoming games today. Got a banger game, maybe the 2 best teams in the league. The Thunder are in Boston to play the Celtics. Who are you rolling with?
Them C's. Throw them C's up,
Hey,
honestly.
throw them C's up.
Throw them C's up.
If I really am in a toss-up, I usually like to go home team depending on who it is. I think the Celtics got a really good road environment. And so, I mean, that's not good. What's going to push them to the win, but I think it's going to make it even that much tougher, and I'll go Celtics.
Yeah, I'll go Celtics too.
Yep. Shout out Milo.
Shout out
my.
Picking the Celts once again.
I don't know if you were going to bring it up. I was going to bring it up just a sec. Warriors versus Trailblazers.
The other day?
Yeah.
GP2 career high, baby.
And then Steph is 2 threes away from 4,000.
Shout out.
He's going to do it against Sacramento, of course.
He's going to do it against Sac.
Yeah.
Damn, he really is. He really is. Jimmy
But
also
then-
had a trip dub in
And
the
then Benny
Trailblazer game.
Avdia, though.
Yay.
34.
34.
Like, that man is either going to be the centerpiece of that team or he's going to be a major trade piece to get them a start.
They stole him from the Wizards, and I don't know why the Wizards did that.
Yeah.
But there was a picture I saw, and it was like the one where you're like, rubbing your eyes, waking up, and it was a picture of Luca, like all blurry, and then he rubs his eyes, and it's Denny.
It was Tobey Maguire, the Spider-Man.
Yeah. So Denny had 34, 16, and 6, and he's just been balling. But yeah, the Trailblazers are a scary team. I think the Kings play him coming up. So
Yeah.
lock
You guys
Denny
want to go
up.
to that game?
Maybe. But yeah, Buddy with 20 points in that game as well.
Yeah.
GP2, though. 4 of 6 from 3, 26 points, a career high. I told you, man, he's someone who you want on a playoff team.
Yeah.
He's going to make an impact.
He'll come up big. He comes
Yeah.
up big in these clutch moments.
He does.
man.
Every time.
Every time.
When they won the ring, he was a huge part, playing big minutes. Well, another game today, Timberwolves at Nuggets. Who you guys rolling with?
Ooh.
Timberwolves been playing really well
Let's
lately.
go. We need the.
I need the
for
T-Wolves
Nuggets.
to
We need
Rune-
the Nuggets to win.
Rooting for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Going Nugs. You, Timberwolves?
Nuggets are gonna win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want the Nuggets to win, but it's tough. I mean,
Russ,
Tough.
Russ dropping 23 because he hates Minnesota.
Minnesota's been playing a little bit better lately,
have.
I will say, but yeah, I'll still give it to the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he hates you.
Well, tomorrow, the Lakers are in Milwaukee to play the Bucks. Who we going with?
No LeBron still?
No LeBron.
No LeBron!
I'm gonna go with the Bucks,
yeah.
honestly.
I'm going Bucks too.
Yeah.
Um,
Giannis for a big game.
Yep. Yeah. Well, some upcoming games. Those are some good ones. We'll jump into more on Saturday.
There's some good NBA coming up, man.
Great NBA.
Great
Every
NBA.
night is going to be
Best
jam
part of the
packed.
season right
Best
now.
part of the
Yeah.
season. Standings changing every day.
Every second.
But yeah, the Sac Republic will go onto that really quick.
Shout
They
out.
won their first
sir.
game.
2-1.
Luke, 2-1. Who was the MVP of that game?
Lewis Jameson.
He was also the MVP of all of USL for the first week. Shout out, first game in the league coming from Scotland. So he's coming up big for us.
From Scotland,
And,
eh?
Yeah, from Scotland. shout out my blood.
Shout out.
But yeah, no, it's a great way to start off. Sold out crowd. I think like 12,000 fans for
In Sac?
Yeah. Great way to start off this season with a pretty much new squad. We have most of them are old players like Jack Gurr, born and raised Sacramento, playing great defense out there as he usually does.
That's a good story.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's pretty awesome. He's just like grown up and like as a kid. I think he was maybe a teenage, 18, 19 when Sac Republic started, and he was just like, I'm a grind for Sac Republic. I'm a grind for that. But no, it looked really good. And then Russell Cicerone, our man, tying it up at halftime. We were up a player that had a red card, like maybe halfway through the game. Got a red card that led to the PK, but it was really good. New Mexico was looking good though. They almost tied it up. Got lucky on an offside later in the game, but closed it out and got the 3 points.
When's the next game?
Next game is sometime next week. Let me look that up.
And how many games are like in a season for Sac Republic?
It goes to like 30 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too many.
Yeah. Not too crazy.
But they do little tournaments like, the NBA Cup type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's tournaments that they go throughout during the season. Like it happens throughout the whole season.
Okay.
Next game is March 22nd. That'll be Colorado Springs Switchbacks. They'll be playing.
What a name.
Yeah.
What a name.
But yeah, so another 10 days. So it does happen like it could be 10, 12 days. And then following immediately that game, they play 6 days later here in Sacramento against Tulsa. So it goes back and forth.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Well, jumping into some baseball coming up. About 2 weeks away from opening day baseball. The A's played the Giants yesterday. Didn't really get a chance to watch too much. I know Verlander pitched. An A's killer, of course, but the Giants did win that one. Dev, how are you feeling about the Giants? Opening day, March 27th for you in Cincinnati to play the Reds.
I'm feeling pretty good. Like the pitching is what's gonna give me a lot of confidence. And honestly, that's not even what's been the best so far this spring training. They've been hitting a lot. Matt Chapman's hitting 550 in spring training right now with 5 home runs. Heliot Ramos, he's only played a couple games. He got a late start into spring training, but he looked good yesterday. And then if they keep hitting like that, which probably isn't the most sustainable thing, they're going to be pretty good. But, I mean, that pitching staff, Verlander looked good yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it was the first game he pitched in spring. He's done a couple sim games. But, I mean, he looked good. Honestly, the A's pitching looked pretty good, too. I think it was Jeffrey Springs started the game. He's good lefty. I mean, he's got a nasty changeup. It really just eats the dirt. And he got a couple people swinging at it. And then it was a great game, 3-1. I think they brought in Ryan Walker. A little scary to see. He kind of, gave up the lead, tied the game. But right back in the bottom of the 8th, I think it started raining. I was like, oh, no, the game's going to get canceled. And then shout out Max Stassi. I think he's going to be the backup catcher because Tom Murphy's still hurt. He's not going to be ready for the season. He hit a home run to untie the game, and then they ended up going to close it out. So, I mean, I'm feeling good, and I think you guys should be feeling pretty good, too. I think we all should. It's going to be a fun baseball season for both A's and the Giants, I think.
Definitely really excited, but I would be a little worried about Matt Chapman hitting 550 with 5 homers in a couple games going to Oracle. I don't know how much that's going to... And him being the 4-hitter scares me a little bit for you guys.
He's set up really well. He's actually set up very well to hit at Oracle because he hit a lot of doubles last year. Yeah. And that's he's a gap-to-gap hitter, and they got big gaps. Same thing with Adames. He's going to hit 2. I mean, he's probably your best hitter on the team, and he's going to set up really well in Oracle because he hits a lot of gappers. But, I mean, like he said, he's like, if numbers are what you guys are worried about in this ballpark, there's some other places in this division and the teams we play that you can get your numbers up. So they're not worried about that at all, and I'm not too worried about it either, to be honest.
Yeah. Is Jung Ho really the 3-hitter?
Yeah. He's going to... I mean, it's just weird. Baseball's just your kind of best on base, but not speedy guy kind of hits first now. Yeah. Kyle Schwarber is a great example of that. And then they're going to have Adames hit 2. That's their best hitter. And then Jung-Hoo Lee is going to be kind of that second leadoff guy. The second leadoff guy is not 9 anymore. It's kind of 3.
That's so
setting
crazy.
Setting up the 4, 5, and 6.
That's so crazy.
Yep. So, I mean, he's going to hit a lot of doubles, too, and then he's going to be on for Matt Chapman. And that's kind of the way they're thinking about setting it up. And then Ramos 5. It might change throughout the year, to your point. I mean, he might not be the best 4-hitter all year, but, they could switch it up. And, Eldridge comes up hopefully at the last half of the season, and he's going to be their guy that's in the middle of that order for the next 10 years, I hope. And not going to be yo-yoed like the last few rookies we've seen. But I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, A's opening day is March 27th in Seattle, playing the Mariners, so AL West rivalry there. But we'll be back on Saturday at the Beam City Sports Bar.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode.
Cheers.